It's time for another segment of Everyday Enlightenment. I'm Claritha, and I want to talk to you today. Just pin a comment there. I want to talk about the astrological weather because I think that's really important. And there's a lot of people talking about the astrological weather. Hey, Vicky. And because it's going to make a difference, I think, over the next couple weeks. So yesterday we had a lunar eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini. And I think it just sort of kicked off the things for the next few weeks, which is really the next, really the end of 2020. And so I am not an astrologer, but I know a lot of people who are, and I follow them. And that combined with the knowledge that I know of what's going on, I think it's just, we all sort of need to have a heads up for the next couple weeks. So even though I might not know what is going on with you personally right now, I think that over the next few weeks, you may see things popping up either in your life or in the lives of people that you spend time with that may be really intense. And some of it may be expected, some of it may not be expected. So I just want to talk about a little bit of the energy so you kind of have a heads up and maybe you won't feel so blindsided when, the shit hits the fan over the next few weeks. So yesterday we had a lunar eclipse. And an eclipse is when the Earth or the moon passes through the shadow of another celestial body. And so the moon, if you don't know, is very closely tied to our emotional state and very closely tied to our deeper feelings. So basically anytime there's, a lunar eclipse, it's a great time for greater self-awareness, whether you're working on it or not. It just kind of, the moon sort of pulls that out of us, right? So this self-awareness, especially with the full moon eclipse, has to do with like the shadow side of ourselves, or the shadow aspect of ourselves. And when I say shadow aspect, it means the things inside of you that you are holding on to that sort of are rooted in a fear-based mentality. In a way that you haven't come to integrate them in yourself yet. So this can be aspects of your ego, which can be positive, this can be aspects of your ego or trying to protect your ego. But basically, these are aspects of your personality that can cause you like pain, that can cause you struggle because you haven't yet integrated them yet. It's like you haven't befriended that aspect of you yet to integrate it in yourself. So it creates this internal struggle. So eclipses are really powerful because whether you want to work on these things voluntarily or not, it helps to bring those things out of you. So whatever is not in alignment with what you're feeling in various situations in your life, or your intention for various situations of your life, the eclipse kind of like pulls that out of you in a quicker way. So you can more easily see these things. So they become a little bit more obvious and more clear, so you can pay attention to them. And the lunar eclipses really sort of accelerate this releasing and manifesting energy. And so they create a greater opportunity, basically, for you to shift old patterns or old belief systems or things that you haven't quite looked at within yourself, to transmute those energies within you quicker, so you can create new beliefs and new new foundational structures to live your life on. And this is powerful because this is how we shift, right? Doing this inner work is how we shift. And so eclipses just like they turn it up to 11 basically. So and like in a way, like if you're familiar with talking about timelines and things, like eclipses kind of like help you jump different timelines to more quickly align with a higher vibrational timeline in your world, basically. So but because it's accelerated, it can feel more intense, right? So with yesterday's full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini, the energy that I picked up on was very much about harmonization and very much about harmonizing the internal duality within yourself. And it's all about sort of looking at those aspects of yourself that still need to be integrated, and those aspects of yourself that you haven't yet given your attention to or spent your time on that are still creating this sort of internal tension and friction within yourself. And so the message I kept getting yesterday during this eclipse was like, it's all about that inward harmonization and sort of really looking at yourself with the eyes of love and bringing in those aspects of yourself that, you know, maybe you struggle with. And so I think that is really important to know, because that is the energy that kicked off this eclipse portal that started yesterday. So that energy, that harmonization energy, that integrating, that duality energy is going to continue through the portal on December 14th, I believe. It's a solar eclipse. So we're kind of in eclipse season, right? So it's going to continue through the December 14th solar eclipse, and then all the way through the winter solstice on December 21st, through the new year, I think till about January 26th. So there's just this constant sort of like, you know, we're in this like energy of like remolding. I'm glad that was helpful, Kat. So we're in this energy of like remolding and sort of regenerating and recalibrating ourselves from the inside out, including those aspects of ourselves that we still haven't loved yet. So that internally creates a lot of change on the outside. And so my recommendation for you, if you're not doing the work already, is to do a lot of clearing if you're not doing that yet. And that includes clearing physically and clearing energetically. And really giving yourself time to be in your isness, to be present to yourself, to be in your beingness. Because in doing this, I said January 6th, not 26th, just clarification. So in doing this, we're shifting the density in our bodies, and we're shifting the density in the human collective. And when I say denser energy, I mean the energy of lower vibration. And lower doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just means that like light vibrates at different speeds, right? So the lower vibrational energies are heavier. So that's the density that we're moving through. And when I'm talking about the density, I'm talking about the density of hate, whether it's outward or inward, the densities and vibrations of control, which is a big one right now, the densities of division and divisiveness, the density of anger, those types of things we are shifting out of. And so in order to shift it, we have to see them, we have to be aware of them, number one, but then we have to feel it and let it go. And once we let it go, we have to hold space and hold the intention of the thing that we want to be in that space instead. Okay? So it's like they're like place markers, kind of. And so by feeling it fully, you know, crying it out, yelling it out, whatever you need to do, and then letting it go, but then with intention, creating something, putting out something else in that space that is of a higher vibrational energy. And so usually the things that are higher vibrational energy relate to love. So we want to, in those spaces, which I think we all want, right? We want happiness, we want joy, we want compassion, we want unity, we want freedom, we want peace. And so it's like we're switching one thing out for another, but we can't do that until we feel the things and then let them go, and then create a very strong intention about what you want to feel or what you want to see or what you want to experience in its place, right? And so, hey Stacia, and so as we are shifting, as the shift speeds up and becomes more intense over the next few weeks because of this eclipse portal that we're in and because of the solstice that's coming and all of these things, I want to remind you to be gentle to yourself, okay? Be really gentle to yourself and hold a lot of compassion for yourself, because you're processing a lot, and you're processing stuff for you. You're processing stuff for your family and your ancestors, and you're processing stuff for the collective conscious who may not be able to feel it the way you do. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with things, I just want to remind you that maybe you're not totally, you're handling some energetic stuff for other people besides yourself too. So, give yourself the rest that you need and do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself, because the more you take care of yourself right now, the easier it will be to navigate these next few weeks, okay? So stay hydrated, eat healthy foods, rest, breath work, breath work, breath work. I love Breath of Fire. I love 4-7-8 breathing. So I recommend that. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Just be in your stillness, because that's part of the feeling and the letting go, right? Turn off the news, go out for a walk in nature, because that's always very beneficial, and do things to help change your perspective. And they can be little things like, because we want to remain flexible during these next few weeks for information or energy that's also needing to be processed. So doing something different could be like driving a different way to work, or, moving your furniture around to get to sit in a chair and get a different perspective of your bedroom or your living room. Have different conversations, sleep on a different side of the bed, make something that you wouldn't normally make, or, there's all different ways to change your perspective, but just those little things that we do in our day to day help our energy remain open and flexible. Okay. So just know that everything is working out according to plan, according to the divine plan, and that you are here to do this. The energy on the earth right now, you are here to witness this wonderful shift and this earth history that we're creating and being a part of, because doing this planetary awakening and ascending to planet is only for the strongest of the strong. And that's why you're here, because you are the strongest of the strong, even though we don't feel like it sometimes, right? But your job is just being here and holding the different frequencies right now. So you're doing it, and keep doing it, and be gentle with yourself. Okay. So we're entering this new time on earth, and the birth of all new things, it is not easy and it is not always pretty. And so this portal that we're entering right now, between now and the beginning of January, is going to feel very intense. And so it's we've been working, we've been growing this baby for 9 months. We've going through the things, going through the growing pains, and we're at the 9th month right now, about to hit the contractions to birth a new world. So I think that's a really great analogy to use right now. So remember, you're doing it, and it gets to be your experience. And so just be gentle with yourself. So I think that was it for today. So hang on to your butts, as I keep saying, and do all the self-care things that you can to support yourself. And, if you need more support, definitely check out my offerings, and definitely check out the Sovereign Heart School, because we're going to be diving into even more of this come January, after this crazy bout of energy is past. So the Sovereign Heart School starts again in January, and we're going to be learning more things. So check that out in the link, and message me if you have questions about that, or have questions about anything else, or any topics that you'd like me to talk about, because I really want to show up and support you guys during this next month or so. So be gentle with yourself, and we got this. So we're all doing it together. Have a great week.